Hey, you guys, thanks for tuning in to the Diva Hustle Show. Today, our guest is Michelle. She's the CEO of Balance, Mind, Body, and Spirit. Did I get it right?
You did.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Michelle, for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you start your business?
Okay, so Balance Mind, Body, and Spirit is I'm a Reiki practitioner.
Okay.
So my studio also offers not only Reiki, but we do some wellness. We have classes, we have events, we have all kinds of things that go on. So how did I get into being Reiki? Good question. So I'll go back a little bit without keeping you up forever and ever, but I started my journey because I felt like something was shifting in my life. I
Mhm.
felt like I was missing something. I felt like I was called to do something else. Coming from a very sort of dysfunctional family growing up, I knew there had to be more to this. Me being the caring person that I am, always wanted to help.
Mhm.
So, long story short, moving forward, go through my personal stuff in my family. I leave. I've divorced. I started taking classes for coaching
Okay.
for my own personal self. Okay. Because I'm like, I know there's something going on in my brain.
Mhm.
That led to another class, that led to another class, that led to another class. I started doing more internal work. And somebody said, you should try Reiki.
Mhm.
I was like, what is Reiki?
Mhm.
Right? What is Reiki?
Right.
Now we're going back in probably 2011.
Okay.
Okay. When I started to dabble into all of this. Took my first class. I thought this is pretty cool.
Okay.
Interesting. For those of you that do not understand what Reiki is, I'm going to give you a quick description of what it is because it is an unseen energy.
Right.
So people might come to me and be like, I have no clue what to expect.
Right.
Each and every person that comes in for energy work has a completely different experience.
Mhm.
So I like to tell you that Reiki is like having a massage without me physically touching your body.
Okay. The use of
How
energy.
is that?
Right.
Right? How
Yes.
does that work? So our bodies are all energy.
Mhm.
And I don't mean to skip in, but I wanted to explain to you guys how what Reiki actually is. So we're all energy.
Mhm.
Okay. You pick up an energy from somebody that walks in the room, you feel that person's off. You feel like God, I got a horrible feeling inside, or God, that person makes me feel really good. That's their energy.
Right.
Okay. So when I have my clients come in, the first session is always a little longer because I want to explain to them what this is, what they can possibly experience, what they might feel, what they might not feel, because
Mhm.
everybody's different.
Mhm.
So it is considered a universal life force. It is an unseen life force that comes in through us to you. So
Mhm.
the Reiki comes out through my hands, through the energy of the body, and the session starts at the top of your head and we move all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And the object of Reiki is we release the energy that's sort of stored in the body.
Okay.
Okay. So you're having a stressful day. You have trauma. You have some emotional struggles going on. You're not sleeping well. You're not eating well. Your anxiety's out of the roof, right? What happens is these energy systems, they're like little, I almost want to call them like cotton candy. It
Okay.
sort of gets stuck in and around your body.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
So, what the Reiki practitioner does, what I do is I start at the top of your head and I move the energy and I can feel it. I actually can feel the tingling in my hands right now from
Wow.
the energy from being here, right?
Mhm.
It's very powerful, the energy that you feel.
Mhm.
So, my intention for you as the client is to release anything that's being held inside.
Okay.
Um, is it an overnight success? No.
Right.
Is it something when you leave, you usually more times than not feel a lighter sensation? You sleep better.
Mhm.
Um, you don't have that elephant feeling like you're sitting on your chest.
Right.
You see things a little differently. You feel lighter.
Right.
Not everybody feels that, but for the most part, everybody does. So going back to me being in this, when I started first doing the Reiki, I thought this was kind of fascinating, right? And I was doing it out of my house because that's what you do.
Right.
You're starting out. moved on to more levels. And that's a whole thing. And I won't go into that, but there's a lot of different levels to Reiki. I proceeded to go through with different types of trainings with Reiki and was still continuing to do it out of my house.
Mhm.
Lo and behold, time kind of stopped, and it was for me to regroup again and
Okay.
see what everybody has to understand is that in our life we go through growth spurts, right? We go through changes, we go through shifts,
Mhm.
and what you might be doing at that time might not resonate with where you're at, and that's okay. So I put
Right.
everything on the back burner for a good bit of years.
Mhm.
Okay. um all along thinking, I feel like I'm still supposed to be doing something.
Right.
I took one more refresher course a couple of years back. I opened up a small business, and it got me back to feeling like I know I'm supposed to be doing this.
Okay.
So here I am well, I created this, I would say, right in the height of COVID, um, 2019, 2020, right?
Mhm.
Started to get back into doing my energy work and still continue to do it in my house. And then my intuition
Mhm.
kicked in and said, it's time to move on.
Okay.
Um, Hence is where I'm at now.
Okay.
And we'll share that towards the end. But it's very hard for me to explain if you've never had an experience with energy work.
Right.
My goal when you come into my office for the very first time is to spend as much time with you,
Mhm.
to answer all of your questions, to explain to you with the best of my ability what I do.
Mhm.
And at the end, when the session is done, I always spend some time with you so that if you have questions, you have an idea what happened. I saw colors, I felt sensations, there was tingling, my head felt hot. These
Right.
are all things um, that a client may experience.
Okay.
Okay. Again, I've had some come in and say, I didn't feel anything, so I don't understand what this Reiki thing is.
Right.
But 3 or 4 days later, I get a text and they tell me, I slept great the last couple of days. I feel more relieved. I don't know what this Reiki thing is, but it's kind of amazing. And then they come back.
Right.
So um, it is a universal life force. It is a natural healing. There is nothing that is dangerous about this.
Mhm.
There is no side effects to Reiki.
Mhm.
In fact, if you start following on social media, which we'll share my Facebook page as well, but Reiki is becoming well known in the medical field.
Mhm.
Hospice uses it.
Right.
I have some clients that are either in remission or actively on treatment for cancer.
Mhm.
I also do sessions for children. Yes, children can do this. Um, you come out of surgery. The new thing now is they ask you if you want Reiki.
Okay.
It is becoming widely accepted. And to me, I feel like that's a huge step for us
Oh,
because not everything in the world has to be about medications and things like that. There are a lot of alternatives that we can do that helps to balance your mind, body, and spirit. I mean, that's why I did named my business the way it is because it's all in one, right?
right.
We're all one. When
Right.
your mind is out of sorts, then your physical body gets out, and then your spiritual part of you is not connected anymore.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, does that help you? I mean,
Yeah. So in 2019, I know that you said you decided like, you got the intuition that you like, hey, it's time for me to go get like a, office and go full fledged with your Reiki business. So were there any fears or how did you overcome them? Like what was going through your mind during that time?
honestly, okay, so we all have intuition.
Right.
It's that gut feeling or you hear something in your head, right? Never discord that. Never not listen to that voice in your head because it's always guiding you to something. You might not understand it in time. So I heard in my head, um, go look for a place. And I
Mhm.
thought, go look for a place. I'm not gonna do that. Where am I gonna get the money? That was the first thing I thought of. Like, so I don't know. Here I am searching online. I'm looking at all kinds of stuff. I'm reaching out to people. I'm like, do you know anything? I'm on all the local things, and I just was putting it out there. Spirit, if I'm supposed to have this, I'm gonna have it. Okay. And you're gonna place me where I'm supposed to go.
Right.
So I had to trust that my instinct. I just kept doing it. I get an email, or actually a private Facebook message from a connection with a family friend who does commercial real estate.
Okay.
And she said, hey, I got a couple places. I saw you were looking, da 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 da. I'm like, okay, well, here I am in my budget, I think. I'm guessing. So yes, my first instinct was my ego mind saying, how are you going to do this?
Right.
Where are you getting the money to do this, Michelle? And I said, well, I'm going to go look. It can't hurt. I'm only looking, right? They obviously want me, you know, my intuition obviously wants me to go find a place. So I searched a few places, didn't feel quite right. And I finally found my space I'm in now.
Okay.
I'm in a very old historic stone building that is from the 1700s.
Yeah.
I'm located in King of Prussia and King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, for those that don't know the area. It's very small, it's very intimate, it's very cozy, and it's got a lot of history to it.
Yes.
And so I went in and I looked at it, and something felt right, quite honest. And I said to the realtor, I'm like, I think I'm interested in this. And my heart's palpitating because I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to do it. The money will come to me. It'll do it. And she looked at me and she went, really? I said, yeah, why? She goes, you're okay with this space? I said, it's perfect. Right. Because Reiki is one of those things, at least for me as a practitioner, I need that quietness. And it's because when you come in as my client, I can't have meetings going on downstairs. I can't have people coming in and upstairs. I can't have phones ringing. I can't have that. And this building houses only a few small people, and they're very rarely in there. So it was perfect. So yes, I was scared. I'm there now a year and a half.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. And when I signed that lease, I did it.
So you had touched on earlier some of the taboos about Reiki, right? And like I know I did a couple research, and plus, you know, Michele, and no bias, but I go to you several times and have in the past. Excellent, excellent. But like you're saying, in the hospitals, you're seeing more, even now with a lot going on in the world, you're seeing more people want to know about Reiki, and they want to know about this energy, and they're starting to become more aware. How do you feel about that as a practitioner?
I am very excited about it, but I also hear from a lot of people that there are people that are not. I'm very passionate about what I do. Let's put it that way. I would hope that all the practitioners that are being trained and all these people that are in the hospitals are also doing it for the good of the person, with only the intention for highest healing. So I'm excited because because when I tell people what I do and they look at me like I have three heads, and then I'm like, well, read about it, because you'll start noticing that these big hospitals in all big cities are offering Reiki. Children that are on the spectrum, autism, they're using it for that. Children that are going through transitions. You wouldn't think that a child would be able to maybe handle this, but animals, pets, veterinarian hospitals are huge now with this holistic way of treating. It's not treating. I'm not going to say that's not what it is. It's in addition to whatever else you're doing. It's a natural alternative. So I'm excited. I would like to see that insurance companies actually acknowledge what we do. because I have a lot of people, you know, that hesitate because, well, if insurance doesn't cover it, you know what I'm saying? So I am very excited about the fact of that. And I have a couple of nurses that actually come in as clients who they use it in the hospitals and the doctor's office. So I'm very happy about it. I'm looking forward to more growth in this field of energy work.
Okay. All right. So what's some new things that you're working on in 2023?
All right. So right now, in addition to regular, I call it a regular Reiki session. I do Reiki for children. I do Reiki for teenagers. I don't really do it for pets unless it's a special client. I have incorporated or have just began doing what we call chakra cleansing. It's with a tuning fork and some crystals. It's a whole different energy, and chakras is a whole nother subject to talk about, but that I also am intuitive. And with that came because of my Reiki. So when I first was attuned, we call it attunement, to the world of energy in that, and it doesn't happen to everybody, your intuition grows into a connection with the spirit world or your connection with whatever the case may be. So I now offer Reiki with a reading. And when I say readings, it's oracle cards, it's angel cards, it's affirmations. It's just really a guidance for you. I always tell everybody that intuitively, you know exactly what you need to do. And whether you are following a motivator or whether you're following a preacher or whoever you're following in the world, you sometimes use cards, sometimes you just use the knowledge, sometimes you use prayer, whatever the case may be. It's your intuition, you guide you. We're just here to do that. We offer, I mean, well, I don't, but I have a teacher that comes in. I'd say 4 times a year, we do Reiki level 1, we do Reiki level 2. That's always up on my website, which we'll have that shared down in the link below. We do events. Growing more on the events right now, going into some workshops in the early spring, more about personal development, how to tap into your psychic abilities, lots of little things. I've got some groups of people that want to come in and do some work with us. We are working on a couple of things as far as couple specials, little things like that. Like it's just sometimes it's a once a month special. It's an event. It's a client appreciation. It's a day of sales. You come in, you want to shop. We've got some inventory things that you can come in and purchase. I'm not a big, huge shop, but you might want to pick up some sage. So there's a lot of things that are in my mind that I want to continue to grow. And I will also add in that not only do I do this, and I know it sounds like a whole heck of a lot of things, but it really does tie together in a ball really nice. I've learned over the years that there's not enough of help out there for people.
Yeah.
There may just be that one person that needs someone to listen to them. They may be going through a difficult time, or they might be experiencing some changes in their spirituality, whatever the case may be. Reiki opens that door.
Yes.
My guides and my intuition tells me that that person who comes to see me is meant to come see me. So I'm working diligently on a program. I shouldn't even really call it a program, but I call it personal mentorship. It's more like a spiritual, intuitive mentorship to get you to achieve your highest good, and to get out of what I call the rabbit hole. So that is one of the biggest things I really plan to develop in 2023 is what I call personal development mentorship. You know, somebody that has an ear to listen to you, somebody that motivates you to do the things that you need to do, because quite honestly, more times than not, we get stuck in a funk, really. And we need somebody to motivate us. It's not coaching. It's holding you accountable. Like, hey, did you do this and this today? And writing it down, journaling, affirmations, gratitude, all of this raises your vibration. So yes, there's lots of Lots of little things going on.
And I do want to add that, when I first started coming to Michelle, like, you right, you are a good listener, and you was able to help me in a dark time. I had just broke up with my ex for all those years, and just being able to talk to you, you gave me homework. I did do my homework, and I'm forever thankful for just meeting you, because I remember when I did the search, and I think at that point I was just so like, okay, there got to be something to get like help me get out of this. You know what I mean? Like I knew it was another force being around. And I did the search and you came up. And I remember because normally when I do a search and I hit someone for appointment, if they say no, I'm like, I'm done. Like, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
remember I text you and you was like, I have somebody. And I was like, all right, then fine, it's not the person next. Like, cause that's how I am. The universe is saying like, and then when you was like, okay, I have this appointment, then I was like, okay, all right. And so, but excellent, excellent. Forever grateful. So
Well, I always feel like everybody, I said this today to a new client. Everybody who finds me, I'm planted there because whoever's supposed to find me, I'm helping them either in their spiritual journey or I'm helping them in their healing journey.
right.
I am not, I just I just go by what I feel. I use my own personality. I don't try to pretend I'm somebody I'm not. Life is too short to pretend you're somebody you're not. And the stories that I hear from so many people that come in, this is something that if you've never experienced Reiki before, you want to make sure, and this is just my 2 cents for anybody, whether you come to me or somebody else, be sure to read the reviews.
Oh yeah.
Be sure to get some feedback. It is very important for me to get reviews from my clients. I mean, I don't try to push it, but I ask them if they feel inspired to share. It really helps me. It's not me. It's
Yeah.
helping that next person to read that review to say, all right, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
There's the skeptics who don't trust what this is. They come in, they're afraid. My job is to ease your mind, to make you as comfortable as you can, to explain to you exactly everything that's going to happen the first time. I use sage. I use lavender. There are essential oils in the office. If you don't want them, we talk about that. I make you comfortable on the massage table. You want the little pillow under your leg, or you want the big pillow under your leg.
Yeah.
I'm more accustomed to making you comfortable. This is your experience, and I want your experience to be great. I want you to walk out of there and be like, God, if anything, I felt comfortable with her.
Right.
And that's where I feel spirit puts me. And I will tell you, probably 10 or more of my pretty much regular clients, I would say, have crossed that step over to their spirituality, and they've taken Reiki level 1 and 2.
Oh wow.
I didn't do that. That was their calling. New clients today chatting with me about their situations. I intuitively know certain things. Just like you might be driving down the road and you stop at that red light and you're like, oh, I'm going to wait, right? And it turns green. And all of a sudden you just wait. And you're like, why am I just waiting? And now a truck comes barreling through.
Right.
Something in your intuition told you, or if you're mom or dad and you feel this, right? You're like, I do that with my children. Some of them are in Colorado, and I'll be like, call my son, and I'll call him like, hey, yeah, what's wrong, right? And I intuitively knew something was out of sorts, so I can kind of usually, not all the time. I mean, I'm not perfect at it, but I just want you to feel comfortable. And thank you, Pam, because you're so sweet. And that's my problem. I talk to everybody, and sometimes our sessions go extra long, but it's all okay.
But it's good though, because you don't just see people as you see them showing up. Meaning it's just not, oh, let me do this session next. You know what I'm saying? Like you actually see the person in front of you, and that's the part that makes it memorable. And you just be like, okay, I feel comfortable. I can let my guard down. She sees me. She's listening to me, and that's important.
I think so, because you know what, if I want to go somewhere, I want to make sure that I feel comfortable. I have myself gone to Reiki practitioners. I mean, part of Reiki as a practitioner is you've got to also have Reiki for yourself. Like you can do it for yourself, but it's also an exchange of energy. And I will be honest, and I've gone to one or two before in the past where I felt like I was just a number in and a number out.
Right.
When's the next person coming in? That doesn't,
Mm-mm.
the energy, as soon as you walk into that appointment, tells you right away. That's
Mhm.
the way I think. I will also tell you that part of doing the work that I do, it's very important that my energy is up,
Right.
right? Because if my energy is not up and I'm not able to perform the the energy work, I will cancel your appointment. I
Right.
mean, it's as simple as that. And there's a lot of reasons being. I mean, I don't often do it, but if I'm feeling out of sorts, or I'm feeling my connection with myself is off, or
Mhm.
I'm feeling my connection with Reiki is off,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously I'll text you and I'll tell you, look, I'm honest. My energy's off,
Right.
and it's not going to be good for you,
Mhm.
because you're not going to get the experience.
Right.
You're not going to get, because I'm off. It's like you go to your job in the day and you're bombarded with 100,000 things. And then your boss is like, well, I need this done. And you're like, I can't even do this anymore.
Right.
And then the job stinks because you did a shitty job, basically.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, I don't do that often.
Mm.
But if it is, I tell my clients, and I work with you. If the scheduler says I'm not available at a certain time and you're like, God, I really need a session, I get that.
Yes.
That's why all my clients have my cell phone number.
Mhm.
I'm here. I do my best
Mhm.
without burning myself out.
Right.
I can arrange it sometimes, even if I get you in for a short session, um, because I know you need it.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
know there's something about you that you need. Even if for some people, believe it or not, I don't do a lot of distant Reiki, but I will if need
Mhm.
be. I like the one-on-one
Yeah.
connection. Um, but I've actually had clients that just needed a 20-minute talk on the phone.
Okay. Okay. That's nice.
So it's, being empathetic, and it's being caring, and it's just being honored, that I am able to help you guys. That's really what it is. It's a blessing.
So if people wanted to get in contact with you, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Well, there's a few ways, but you can send me an email to balancedlife222 at Gmail.
Okay.
My website, you're gonna put it on the link below.
Okay.
Okay. I am on Instagram. I am on Facebook. So my Instagram is Balanced Life 222,
Mhm.
and my Facebook page is the Balanced Mind, Body, and Spirit. But again, I believe, Pam, you're going to put all that underneath to make it a lot easier. Do
Yes.
not hesitate to ask me a question. There is no stupid question. I will do my best to answer it. Shoot me an email. If you follow me on Facebook, send me a message. Under the events tab on the Facebook page and my website is always all the information that you need. I do my best to keep it updated on the website. But I do Topic Tuesdays every Tuesday from 7:30 to like 8:15, or it's every other Tuesday, right? Live on Facebook. This Tuesday is cord cutting. You want to learn a little bit about it, pop one, say hi. So I want to keep you guys interactive and filled with some information. Um, but yeah, that's the best way. And my contact number's on all of that as well.
Okay.
So
Well, thank you, Michelle, for stopping past and talking with us about your business and Reiki, and so that people can get an inside look at what it looks like from practitioner point of view. So
thank
anytime you want to stop back past, you have my number. Just reach out and we can talk about clearing chakras and all the other stuff.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that down the road. That's
Yeah,
a whole other subject.
yeah, I know.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. All right.